Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jake back here for video number 5 of 19 for the top 19 things they don't teach you in a real estate school. And today's topic is defining your standards and defining your systems. And this is another one of those subjects that I could probably spend a good hour discussing and giving little tidbits and pointers on, but I'm going to try and cram it into a few minutes. But first, starting with your standards. So I'm a firm believer that you teach people how to treat you, okay? You teach people how to treat you. And one of the mistakes that I see a lot of real estate agents make is they say things like, oh, just call me anytime. And I understand the root of that is just coming from a heart of service and wanting to serve our clients the best that we possibly can. But it's saying things like, oh, just call me anytime, that ends up being the very reason that leads to burnout or having no kind of structure to your business, and then the business begins to consume you and you have no life, right? The point of this is to build a life by design, not by default. And it all begins from day one of setting proper expectations and defining your business standards and sticking to those standards. So for example, as a new agent, oftentimes we see a lot of new agents who are really eager. They're trying to get out of the gates and earn that money as quickly as possible, and they get pretty aggressive to get those few first transactions. That's wonderful, but it's not so wonderful if it's at the expense of doing things like rushing out during dinner at 7 p.m. only to go show buyers some homes because you have this fear of losing them if you don't just stop what you're doing and rush out to help them. I'm a huge, wildly passionate proponent of protecting your time, okay? And it starts with having these standards. If you were to come to me and say, Jake, I don't know what to do because this Saturday I've got a client coming in from out of town, it's the only day they have to see homes and they have to make an offer, what do I do? Because my kid has a soccer game at 11 o'clock. Without hesitation, I'm going to tell you, go to the soccer game, okay? Go see your kid play soccer. It is not worth it. It is not worth chasing money, only to give up life experiences and memories for the very people that we work so hard for. Does that make sense? Okay? So I get really passionate about this subject because a lot of people essentially dig their own grave. They don't stick to a schedule. They don't respect their own time. And sometimes it might mean you just saying, you know what? I have an appointment at that time. Does tomorrow at 2 or Thursday at 3 work best for you? And guess what? That appointment that you just said, you don't owe them any justification. What that appointment might be is an appointment with yourself. Maybe it's an appointment with your kids. It's an appointment to go to that soccer game. So really learn to protect that time and develop your standards. Look, you're the CEO of a real estate business. You get to dictate when your store hours are. It does not have to be open 24/7. What business in the right mind is, okay? It is very fair for you to say, look, my business practice is I'm available from 9 until 7 p.m. If you contact me after 7 p.m., expect to hear me by first thing tomorrow morning. That is very fair, and it's a lot of people, it's all about communication and expectations. And right now, you have that amazing opportunity, especially if you're new into the business, to define those standards and set your store hours, so to speak, because I'm telling you what, you can lead to burnout really quickly in this business, and it's really hard to go back and try to unravel that mess that you've created because from day one you said things like, oh, just call me anytime, okay? So be cautious of that. This is all about work-life balance. What is the point of being successful and making all the money in the world if we don't carve out time and make that a priority first to enjoy it with the people that we love? So anyways, I'm getting preachy on this topic, but it's important to go through things, starting out in having systems, okay? So standards is one thing, but systems is another, because if what we know to be true is most real estate agents suck at follow-up, all right? If NAR research suggests that 88% of people would have used their realtor again, but 12% actually did, what does that tell you? What does that say? Well, we as real estate agents get so busy, so bogged down, so focused on where's the next piece of business going to come from, that we lose sight of staying in touch with the clients that we just closed a home with, or just staying in touch with our database and our sphere of influence in general. So aside from standards, you also have to have systems in place to support that, so you're working smarter, not harder. Making more money does not always equal more time, okay? So that'll be later videos down the road where we get more into systems and follow-up procedures and things like that, but I just want to put it on your radar right now, is taking the word past client out of your vocabulary. There's no such thing as a past client. They're a client. They are a client for life if you do what you're supposed to do and staying in touch and coming from contribution. Do you go to your doctor or dentist's office and say, hey, welcome back, past client? No, you're a client. There's an assumption there. All right? So why do we treat our business any differently just because I closed a home with somebody and then I never speak to them or touch base with them again? That's a massive, massive failure that we will be discussing more in future videos. So anyways, guys, I tell you what, the main thing of this video is not so much the systems in place, that's going to be later down the road, but really defining your standards, protecting your time to avoid the burnout, respecting your own schedule, and not chasing the money. I don't think people talk about this enough, and I know it's certainly not addressed in pre-license school. And the reality is, from day one, it's not worth it. Because if you start teaching people how to treat you, and they're calling you at any time, at 11 o'clock at night, texting you, Facebooking you, at all hours of the day, and they expect you to get back to them because you said you would, that's some trouble down the road. All right, that's some trouble down the road. Don't set yourself up for that kind of chaos. And if you got to lose a client or two because of it, so what? There's plenty of business out there. It's not worth taking time away from your family, away from the very people that we're trying to provide for in an effort just to chase the money. All right, so anyways, I hope this resonates with you guys and you find value of it. Again, this is video number 5 out of a series of 19 videos to discuss the top 19 things they do not teach you in real estate school. So enjoy. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Thanks.